Okay, guys, in this video, I'm going to be showing you the plugin I created for my coursework in games technology. This plugin fetches the real-time weather from the OpenWeather API and updates the scene with dynamic rain, snow, fog, cloud coverage, and sunlight transitions. Once the plugin is enabled, this custom editor panel pops up where you can assign scene references like snow and rain Niagara system, the sunlight actor, the skylight actor, and a volumetric cloud actor. We can also set fog density ranges and also the cycle through preset colors for day, sunrise, or sunset color, and also manually force rain, snow, fog, or sunset and sunrise using the force toggles that's been provided. By default, the plugin runs into auto mode when you click apply. On startup, it looks up your IP location and fetches weather data for your city using the OpenWeather API. And also, it passes the temperature, humidity, cloud coverage, weather type, and sunrise or sunset time. Then it applies everything to the scene. So now the time is about 2:20 and it's dark outside, so the setting looks like as if you're in a night and cloudy, cool temperature, I suppose. So this function starts the whole process by sending a request to an IP geolocation API, and then when we get the location, we build a second request to fetch the real-time weather data that's happening outside. Once we get that, this passes the JSON response and extracts all relevant weather values, which is like temperature, humidity, and the clouds, and what's the weather condition if it's like thunderstorm, snow, rain, clouds, or clear. And then once parsing is done, we call the controller and update the visuals. That happens right here, which applies the weather to the scene. So when we look into the function that applies all the weather changes and the force toggles that the person manually override happens is taken care by the apply weather fx function where it's in the weather controller. So for instance, if the weather outside is rainy, uh, the user forces the system to rain, this section runs. We dim the sunlight with a gray tone, turn on the rain Niagara system, and darken the clouds. The Niagara system we already created just turns on and just drops the particles as we created. Same as for snow, we brighten the sunlight with a bluish tint, hide the rain, and turn on the snow particles which we created earlier. And for instance, if the person was using the plugin manually override the fog density and everything. This blocks calculates the fog density based on the real-time humidity we got from the API. If we have toggled force fog from the editor window, it uses a custom value instead. Then it interprets the density and sets it onto the fog actor. So the tick function takes care of the day or night and sunset or sunrise transitions inside the plugin. So this part smoothly blends from day color to sunset color over 15 minutes before sunset. And also it calculates the lerp alpha and applies that to both the sun's intensity and color. And during the nighttime, when it's nighttime after the sunset, it switches to night mode using the night color and lower the intensity. And also before 15 minutes of the sunrise, we apply the same idea. We go from sunrise orange tone to the full daylight over 15 minutes time. So here's how the sunrise and sunset works. So now I'm gonna apply all the necessary stuff. And also I made it to apply always because it can be any system or different systems where you're opening this plugin from. And I don't want people to have the same volumetric cloud, or like they could have different volumetric cloud elements or change their blueprints as if I changed for the fog and everything for the cloud density, I suppose. So I just made sure it just gets back to normal, and the person was replaying or reusing the plugin should always do it. I mean, if in future the player or the user can just make in a way that it always gets updated from the last applied references, I suppose. So when I click apply, it goes to night. When I force sunrise and click apply, it goes like a clear, cloudy day. Start if it's raining during that time, it just starts with a rainy thing, and if it's a snow, it starts snowing particles. The Niagara system activates, and also for the sunset, it goes to like an orangey sunny day. So this is the presets I was talking about earlier as well. You can just click on it to cycle around. And for sunrise color as well, I got some presets that you can change. I really like this color, but this seemed a bit efficient enough. That's why I just kept it like that. But yeah, that's about it. One of the issues I was facing earlier was with the Unreal set owner function. I was creating the weather API manager using an object and tried to assign its owner using set owner this function, like with an actor. However, set owner is only valid for actors, and since this was an object, Unreal crashed at runtime. To resolve this, I just created a custom set owner method that simply passes and stores a pointer to the controller directly. Another problem I was facing was that the cloud visuals weren't updating, even though I was calling set scalar parameter and set vector parameter values on the cloud material. The issue was that the material didn't actually include those parameters, so Unreal was silently ignoring those calls. So what I did was I just created those parameters in the cloud graph, and then the cloud coverage and the color responded correctly to the live weather. For instance, if I wanted the dark gray, the cloud color changed to the color I wanted as if the clouds were dark in color during rainy time. And then the reason for reinitializing the Niagara systems was when using the plugin panel, I noticed that even after assigning new Niagara system for rain or snow, the visual didn't always update. The underlying issue was that the old Niagara components were still active and the new ones weren't being initialized. So to address that, I just reinitialized the Niagara system. This destroys any old particles and components that were present in the scene and then respawns new ones based on the updated assets. The limitations I would say in this plugin would be now the weather updates every 10 minutes. Uh, Updates every 10 minutes, as in, like, it fetches the API data from OpenWeather API once in every 10 minutes. It works well, but a push-based system or more frequent updates would make it more reactive. In future versions, I would like to add support for wind direction, ambient weather sounds, and also seasonal weather profiles as well, which would make this plugin more usable and like more polished. So that's about it with my weather system plugin that I created for this coursework. Thank you.